9 and you are watching On Point. Today we have two On Points. On Point 1 is on SIR triggering reverse migration in West Bengal, even as Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee is claiming that it is leading to deaths. On Point 2 is on the boom in consumption of ultra-processed food in India and its implications. Now let's take a quick look at the headlines. In a landmark decision, Supreme Court says timelines can't be fixed for governors, president for assent of bills. In Delhi terror attack probe case, NIA gets 10-day custody of the 4 prime accused. SIT arrests CPM leader and former chief of Travancore, Devasam board, A. Padma Kumar in Sabrimala gold theft case. Nitish Kumar sworn in as Bihar CM for the 10th time. 26 ministers take oath, including 1 Muslim and 3 women. Class 10 student of a top Delhi school dies by suicide over alleged harassment by principal, teacher. Suicide note recovered has an apology to parents and for request of organ donation. Curfew reimposed after fresh tension in southern Nepal district. At least 10 injured as Gen Z activists clash with Communist Party of Nepal members. On Point 1, from Bangladesh into India and now from India back into Bangladesh. Reverse migration is unfolding along West Bengal's North 24th Pargana border. Hakimpur, Tarali and Jayanagar. Hundreds of undocumented Bangladeshi nationals are lining up to return home, anxious about the special intensive revision drive by the Election Commission, because the truth will be out. At the same time, Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee has slammed the Election Commission of India, alleging precious lives are being lost due to work pressure and stress generated by the SIR exercise. She also wrote a letter to the CEC Ganesh Kumar urging him to halt SIR. But at the Hakimpur border outpost in West Bengal, men, women and children squat with bags, blankets and boxes waiting to cross over to Bangladesh. Since the SIR drive began, there has been a considerable increase in the number of illegal Bangladeshi citizens returning to their country from West Bengal. We bring you an exclusive News 9 Down report that chronicles this reverse migration, which is the direct impact of SIR, that is the special intensive revision exercise of the electoral rolls.
After the SIR has been declared in 12 states along with West Bengal, there has been a rush in the Bangladesh-India border near Hakimpur, North Chobbish Pargana, where thousands of Bangladeshis had gathered to go back to their own country. Currently, I am standing in front of those Bangladeshis, those who want to go back to their country, and they are fearful about the matter that if they got identified, they will be prosecuted. See, like all these people, those who are sitting here, they are all desperately trying to go back to their country, but the process is quite lengthy and they are being questioned, like what will happen if they are being allowed to go back to their country. A group of 10 people from Bangladesh came here. They were working here in Kolkata, they were staying in Kolkata. Now due to SIR, they want to go back.
Now let's listen into some of the reactions on this issue.
SIR का डर से वापस जाना चाहते हैं?
यस
अच्छा, तो अब डर किस बात की है? अगर आप जाना चाहते हैं, आप आपका लोग को बोल रहे हैं कि यहाँ पे बीएसएफ को बोल रहे हैं हम वापस जाना चाहते हैं, दलाल का मार्फत से यहाँ पे आए थे, तो कितना दिन ठहरे थे, कहाँ ठहरे थे?
कोलकाता में।
कोलकाता में कहाँ पे ठहरे थे?
दमदम एयरपोर्ट।
दमदम एयरपोर्ट एरिया में।
यही फायदा होगा सबका, काम धंधा हमको नहीं मिलता, इनको मिलता है।
अच्छा, आपका हक का खाना छीन रहा था, है ना?
So it goes on to show that there is an issue of illegal immigration in West Bengal. It has its ramification on the polls, and they have turned into vote banks. There is no doubt about that. What the Newsline reportage is showing you is fact. But on the other hand, after the death by suicide of another booth level officer in West Bengal, Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee intensified her demand for a pause on the SIR electoral rolls. She alleged that the death by suicide of a booth level worker in Jalpaiguri was an indication of the unbearable pressure on field workers that Mamata claims had caused 28 deaths so far. So, let me take you through her tweet. She said, today again we lost a booth level officer in Jalpaiguri. She said Shanti Muni Ekka, a tribal lady and Anganwadi worker who took her own life under the unbearable pressure of the work. 28 people have already lost their lives since SIR began. I am quoting Mamata Banerjee. Some due to fear, uncertainty, others due to stress and overload. Precious lives are being lost because of the unplanned, relentless workload imposed by the Election Commission of India. Fifth, a process that earlier took 3 years is now being forced into 2 months to please political masters, putting inhuman pressure on BLOs. I urge the ECI to act with conscience and immediately halt this unplanned drive before more lives are lost. On this, I am joined by Dr. Shatrupa, spokesperson Bharatiya Janata Party, Meeta Chakrabarti, spokesperson Congress, Bhanuchandra Nagarajan, political analyst, and Shubhankar Bhattacharya, another political analyst. I will come to all of you. I will take a short break and then I will start with Shatrupa.
क्वालिटी पे इतना कॉन्फिडेंस, इसलिए बिल्ला ओपस एश्योरेंस। 1 साल में पेंट को कुछ भी हुआ तो पेंटिंग वापस करके देंगे। रजिस्टर करो billaopus.com पर।
बहुत टायर्ड हो गई।
Take a date, not bites.
नो एडेड शुगर, प्रिजर्वेटिव के बिना डेट्स, बादाम, पिस्ता, काजू और शहद से तैयार किया गया लायन डेट्स नट बाइट्स।
Lion date, not bites.
What is speed? Do you ever see it? Or is it something you feel? Speed, it's relative. The more you speed up, the more the world slows down. And when you are fast enough, everything becomes still. That's when you see the world as it truly is. Servo Hypersport F5, when speed is your default.
So the big question is, what is the truth? Is there panic in illegals because of SIR, or the intense pressure as claimed by Mamata Banerjee is leading to deaths? Let me straight away go to Dr. Shatrupa. Madam, your opening comments.
Kartikeya, good evening. You know, we stand vindicated once again. We have been saying from the very beginning that there are an excess of 1 crore illegal immigrants who have, creeped into our electoral list. And your interviewer, the person who was interviewing, many of the people on the screen, the people you're showing on the screen, they have been saying that yes, we have voted some 3-4 times. So which means a person who has voted for 3-4 times, there has already been a couple of Lok Sabha elections, a couple of Vidhan Sabha elections. So it is very clear, and they're saying that no, we don't have any other document. They do not have any kind of citizenship record. That this is creating a panic amidst the ruling party. Trinamool in West Bengal is panicking like crazy. If you have noticed, Mamata Banerjee, right from the dais, even before SIR was announced, the BLOs were simply called for an initial training, and she panicked on stage and she said, why have they left? Why have they not told me? I mean, as the Chief Minister of West Bengal. And from then onwards, there have been several leaders. Abhishek Banerjee has been saying, tie BJP leaders to the run. What BJP leaders have got to do with an SIR, I really don't know. There have been several Trinamool leaders who've been saying that there'll be a bloodbath and eyes will be taken out and all sorts of violent speech. I think I've done a show with you regarding this. Now, as of now, what is happening is, I don't know if in your state it has happened, but many of us, I think 99.9 forms, enumeration have been filled up and very comfortably even deposited. So there's actually no reason to panic.
Okay.
And if you see, this entire panic is being created by Mamata Banerjee. Yes, there have been some 28 people dying in our state Kartikeya, let me tell you, here in this state, people don't die of dengue, even though the dengue can be found in their blood. Here in West Bengal, people don't die of COVID. Here in West Bengal, people die as per the prescription given out by Mamata Banerjee herself.
Okay.
So when she says that death has to happen by comorbidity, then it will happen by comorbidity. Now, in this case, BJP wants to know, is this the comorbidity because of the SIR fear factor created by Trinamool itself?
Okay. Your opening comments, Meeta Chakrabarti, do you agree with Mamata Banerjee that it's creating unnecessary pressure? And what about the fact that now these illegals are going back, showing and showcasing that yes, the porous boundary has indeed altered the demography of districts adjoining Bangladesh? To you, madam.
First of all, if illegal immigrants are in the state of West Bengal having access to our resources, then who is to be blamed? Is it not the Home Minister of Central Government of India? Is it not Amit Shah's responsibility, the Border Security Force's responsibility to maintain that there is no illegal immigration? That's my number one submission. Number two submission. If there had been illegal immigrants, by all means, we want them to be sent back to Bangladesh or wherever they have come from. But how is it that after quoting a figure of crores of illegal immigrants by BJP leaders, it's only a few hundreds that we really see, or a maximum if you add them all up, it comes to a few thousands that are actually crossing back to Bangladesh. So that raises serious query and concerns about the numbers that were being quoted. Number three, my final submission. West Bengal is a densely populated state. It's a very complex state. Everyone knew that in 2026 May, there has to be assembly state level elections to be held. Then why did the Election Commission of India wait till November 2025 to start the process? A process that had taken a few years to complete earlier is now being forced to be completed within a time span of 2 months. Is it because that Election Commission of India wants to work as a frontal cell of BJP? Is it because they want to insert more fake and duplicate voters with photographs of a Brazilian model? Is it because that they want to eliminate valid voters and replace them by fake voters by which they can manipulate the electoral polls and the electoral process? So our submission is, in 2 months' time, in a state as large as West Bengal, how will our booth level agents of different political organizations verify that whether the polls, we all want fair and transparent electoral processes, but how will we ensure that all fake voters and duplicate voters have been eliminated and those who are valid voters have found their place in the electoral voter list? So my final submission is that such a complex process had to be given more time. We have gone to the Supreme Court. We are not against SIR. This is not the first time SIR is happening in independent India. But we want SIR to be a free, fair process and due time to be given. Why is it that ECI and Ganesh Kumarji waited till November of 2025 to start the process? What is it that they are trying to achieve? Is it democracy? Is it good governance? Or is it the system is turning itself against the people of India by acting like a frontal of BJP?
Now, when we spoke to the local residents of West Bengal, some of them welcome SIR. They said that it will weed out undocumented migrants. They say that the Bangladeshi migrants enter illegally, and these migrants said that they take over their land and precious resources. Let me play out another report, some couple of bites from the border areas.
नॉर्थ 24 परगना के जयनगर में भारत और बांग्लादेश के बीच जो अंतर्जातिक सीमाना है उनमें एक वॉच टावर पे मैं हूं। आप देख सकते हैं बीएसएफ के जो जवान हैं वो कड़ी नजरदारी यहां पे रख रहे हैं और आपको एक चीज दिखाना चाहते हैं, आप फिर समझेंगे कि कितना पास है बांग्लादेश। देखिए ये जो सामने आपको ये जो हट्स दिख रहे होंगे, ये घर दिख रहे होंगे, ये बांग्लादेश के एक छोटी सी गांव है और आप देखिए हम अंतर्जातिक सीमाना में कैसे खड़े हैं। कैमरा में आप देख सकते हैं सामने एक छोटी सी तालाब है और उसके पीछे जो घर है बांग्लादेश के घर है और यहां से नजरदारी रखे जा रहे हैं। तो भारत और बांग्लादेश के ये जो पश्चिम बंगाल की सीमाना है, ऐसा बहुत सारा जगह है वो जो कि नॉन फेंस्ड है, हालांकि हम फेंस्ड बॉर्डर में खड़े हैं और रात के अंधेरे में जो लोग आते हैं वो अब वापस जाना चाह रहे हैं। बीएसएफ तो कड़ी नजरदारी इसमें रखती है, लेकिन कुछ जगह पे रात के अंधेरे में चोरी छुपे जो लोग घुस आते हैं, आज वो एसआईआर का डर से वापस जाना चाहते हैं। उनका साफ साफ कहना है, ना तो हमारे पास कोई डॉक्यूमेंट्स है, ना तो कुछ है, लेकिन हम लोग आए थे, यहाँ पे काम कर रहे थे, अब एसआईआर का डर से हम लोग वापस जाना चाहते हैं।
ये जो बांग्लादेशी लोग इधर रह रहे थे बहुत दिन से, हम लोग बांग्लादेश के ही पास के ही गांव से है, ये लोग इधर आके बहुत परेशानी करता है, क्योंकि हम लोग जो काम करते हैं उसमें उसका हक ले लेता है, और ये लोग इधर की जो जमीन है उसके भाव बहुत ज़्यादा बढ़ा देते हैं।
So I think the most important, the word which he has used is haq, which is perhaps he is referring to the livelihood. A new demographic research by the Professor Vidhu Shekhar of the SP Jain Institute of Management and research claims that the West Bengal's 2024 electoral roll for the Lok Sabha elections contained 1.04 crore names, more than what population data can support. That is an additional 13.69% names since 2004. These names cannot be explained by births, deaths or migration data, and yet were on the electoral rolls. So were these undocumented voters? Let me play out a bite of Sukanta Majumdar and Kunal Ghosh of TMC.
Trying have level base to stop the SI, and any death happening which is quite unnatural, Mamata Banerjee making it a case for SIR related death. But I don't know why Mamata Banerjee is claiming, because the SIR is being implemented in 12 states now. And even one state SIR has been completed in Bihar also. So, no death till now has been reported from the other state. So, my question is, problem lies with the SIR or the state of West Bengal?
The responsibility, this is surely the Central Election Commission. They should take the responsibility, and our Honorable Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee, she has pointed out the major problem, and the system was not smooth, and CEC is surely highly influenced by Bharatiya Janata Party.
Let me now go to my political analysts Bhanuchandar and Shubhankar. Bhanuchandar, first, do you think that the SIR is having a right effect in West Bengal, or is having a wrong consequence, as Mamata Banerjee states?
See, one of the other things that has happened, Kartikeya, is that the Immigration and Foreigners Act of 2025, it was passed in March of this year. It came into effect in September, okay, which is like a couple of months ago, which says that which actually has serious penalties on people staying without visa and registration of foreigners, and the Bureau of Immigration can take action against people who are staying in the country illegally. So there is this thing that has happened, and the SIR is just a very simple exercise to see whether you are in the electoral rolls or not. Okay, if somebody is staying illegally, the person can just not participate in that. They need not leave the country for that. So there is some sort of a rumor that has happened in pockets, which is actually like somebody would have said the authorities are after you, and you should be aware, otherwise you're going to go to jail. Some sort of a rumor would have been spread in pockets, and that would have been the cause of this exodus. And I would not even call it an exodus, because the numbers are substantial. For example, in Bihar, where we had like 65 lakh people out of the electoral rolls, right? And a substantial number will be illegal immigrants, and you did not see like tens and lakhs of people crossing over to Bangladesh. So this is a very localized thing. So this is the picture that we need to keep in mind before we discuss this. And one point, Kartikeya, is that like we should refer to these people as illegal immigrants and not just illegals, because it sort of dehumanizes.
Okay, Shubhankar, Mr. Bhattacharya, your opening comments?
Yes, Kartikeya, thank you. So actually, see, I'll thank Nagaran for actually bringing up clearly the point. My point is quite similar, because see, what is happening over here is that we are combining two issues together. Number one, we are showing that the SIR, the Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee is fighting the SIR, but I don't think so, because if you remember, from the 2005 itself, She was seen in the parliament actually fighting against the Bangladeshi immigrants coming in. And since then, over and over again, the plea has been from her side towards the unfenced area of Bangladesh, which runs around 140 kilometers across. That's not a small area actually. And there are areas, there are villages in which the door opens, the front side door opens in Bangladesh, and maybe the rear window opens in India. So we have areas like that as well, and there is a good amount of population who are actually staying over there. Now, when it comes to SIR, I agree with Mr. Nagarjun. What he said over here is that, see, if you say that the Bangladeshis are returning to their own country because of SIR, so actually SIR is completely misunderstood then, because it wasn't meant
that I understand. See, Shubhankar, that I understand that SIR or any other exercise does not have the power to deregister you as a citizen. But then I'm talking about the narrative of SIR. See, please don't miss the point. I'm talking about the narrative of the SIR. I'm trying to locate the debate in that narrative. This is not a survey we have done. There's one reporter, one constituency, one place. It's so obvious. But there's a narrative which a political discussion creates. So I'm talking about a narrative.
No, I'm just trying to show that basically this has more to do about the rumors, because these people, now one thing has to be understood, that these people are not educated enough to actually understand what SIR is actually going to be. One rumor crops up, and see, this is the impact that you see on the bottle. And now let me come to the second point. The second point is, when we talk about that, it's laughable actually. See, when we talk about that, see, these Bangladeshis were actually a part of the whole voting system, and they actually, see, none of these Bangladeshis had any legal document. If they were not having a legal document, how were they casting vote in past? If you want to show that these people who are going back were actually the voters for Mamata Banerjee, so that again is the false statement, because they cannot vote. They are not having any legal document. Most of them, 99.9% of them, they don't have any legal document.
So are you saying that the illegal immigrants in West Bengal don't vote?
Most of them, that is what is being seen. None of them. I was seated in 3 debates yesterday night, and I went through entire, conversation with.
Okay, that's a strong point you are making, Shubhankar. That's a strong.
I didn't actually hear one person coming up that they did actually have a legal document. Then they should not have been, sitting at the borders to leave the country.
So what is the issue?
Number one. And last point, Kartikeya, last point I'll be making.
Okay.
Next thing is, it is not that Mamata.
Okay, I think there's a bit of a freeze. We'll take a short break and come back. And Shatrupal, I really want to respond to this. What is the opposition to the SIR? The Bihar elections have taken place. Opposition is coming from Kerala, opposition is coming from West Bengal, opposition is coming from Tamil Nadu. When it has already become a nationwide exercise, a short break and then we come back.
खेलता है, झूलता उछलता है, दौड़ता कभी कभी दौड़ कराता है, आगे आगे बढ़ता है इंडिया, अमूल दूध पीता है इंडिया।
भाई साहब, आपने भारत कनेक्ट का नाम सुना है?
एक और सोशल मीडिया ऐप।
सोशल मीडिया ऐप नहीं, वो 700 से ज्यादा ऐप्स पे बिल पेमेंट्स पॉसिबल बनाते हैं।
बढ़िया है।
आप हमें जानते नहीं पर मानते जरूर हैं। हम हैं भारत कनेक्ट।
अर्जुन कुछ भी पढ़े मेमोरी में नहीं रहता।
Take a date, not bites.
नो एडेड शुगर, प्रिजर्वेटिव के बिना डेट्स, बादाम, पिस्ता, काजू और शहद से तैयार किया गया लायन डेट्स नट बाइट्स।
Lion date, not bites.
Okay, Dr. Shatrupal, what is the issue? Why is everyone getting irked in the ruling dispensation in West Bengal on the SIR?
Kartikeya, the whole thing is very amusing. I mean, I was listening to what Mita ma'am was saying. that yes, it's a very porous border, international border. Nobody denied that. It is an international border, which I mean, I think you have the exact kilometers, which is still not fenced. The exact kilometer, how much of it is still in the water area, and many of these immigrants, I don't know which region you. I think you're in Joinagar, by the looks of it. But there are many other interviews given by many people around the border, and I'm very glad that these people have been, waiting at that same spot where they crossed over. Many of them are saying that we crossed over with the help of some dalal, some broker. So, which means this is happening, and it's very insensitive to blame the Home Minister or the BSF point blank on aberrations like this. But having said that, even if there are people who have come in like these people, I mean, look at the bags and the boxes here. These people have been allowed to not only stay, Kartikeya, and they are given food, accommodation, documentation, and even given a full facility of touring, not only Bengal. They even tour right up to Karnataka and throw some bombs at some cafe there. This is what these illegal immigrants, I completely agree with what Bhanuji said. They are illegal immigrants, and this is where the citizens of India have a problem. The Home Minister has been very categorical. Whoever will vote will have to be a citizen of this country. We will not accept votes from people who have hopped across the border and are being allowed to stay. And I'm very glad Shubhankar brought up this, that it was Mamata Banerjee herself who couldn't contain herself. In, I think, 2005, she was an MP then. She couldn't control herself. She was like breaking down in tears. She threw papers at the speaker. She had completely forgotten that it was not the same speaker. There was somebody else in the chair, probably the deputy speaker. She threw papers at him, and she mentioned 1 crore illegal immigrants are here, and they are eating up all the boats and everything. So the same thing which is happening. We've gone back to 2002 because there has to be some cutoff, and the SIR is happening. It's a perfectly smooth process. If people are getting threatened and they want to leave the country because they are not supposed to vote for this country at all, so then why?
Okay.
Why? What is the pain that the Trinamool is having? Why can they not let them go?
Okay, so my question to you is, why is Mamata Banerjee opposed to SIR? I mean to say,
this is where I'm going to answer. He can't keep on interrupting. I was very patient all through. You see, Mamata Banerjee knows very well. She's one very astute politician. She knows the ground very well. She has been winning on several occasions on the basis of dead voters. There have been incredible amount of duplicate voters, and unfortunately for Congress, I don't know why they are supporting this. I mean, they are completely confused because they have to support their confused leader peculiar press conference. I don't even want to get into that. The duplicate voters, the people who are not in our domicile, they are not Indians. Why are they going to vote for an Indian government, whichever level, Lok Sabha or Vidhan Sabha? There are many people who have false documentation. Have you seen? I think I was on a show with you. There were sacks and sacks of Aadhaar card, which was thrown everywhere, thrown amok. It was like they had no purpose of having a false Aadhaar card. There have been scenes on television where public representatives like Lovely or somebody else, public representative, who's been openly saying that, come, so-and-so Dada will give you your documentation. It urged the Home Minister of the country to come to Kolkata and say, Didi, hame bhi to bataiye, kahan se document hota hai. This was the level of false documentation done in this state.
Let me put this question to Meeta Chakravarti now. Meeta, then what is the principal position of the Congress party in West Bengal? Obviously, the SIR and the vote chori issue did not click in Bihar, politically speaking. Now, in context of policy, what is the position of the Congress in West Bengal?
See, we have always maintained that we are not against SIR, but we are against politically motivated SIR. We are against Election Commission of India working as a frontal in a department of Bharatiya Janata Party. That is our problem. See, when we have raised valid case pointers, case studies, valid data, not a single data pointer has been refuted by Ganesh Kumarji or anyone from his team. There was not a single rebuttal that this data is invalid, that a one-bedroom flat did not have 85 registered voters in Karnataka, or the fact that the Mexican model's picture was not used 22 times in the voter list in Haryana. We have given specific evidences which are not refuted by Election Commission of India. Not a single data pointer has been refuted. Now our submission is, yes, we want a free, fair electoral process. We need a very transparently made proper voter list. But by putting this time pressure, you are not giving the booth level agents of different political organizations to validate what is being done by Election Commission of India. Election Commission of India has already lost its credibility because it has failed to answer any of the queries raised by the leader of opposition. Mind you, none other than the leader of opposition of the largest democracy of the world.
Okay.
Not a single data pointer had been refuted. Not a single case they had studied that we have quoted has the Election Commission had said that this is fake data or this is wrong data.
Shatrupa, how much time would you think the government should require?
But done in a proper way.
Every time there has been a SIR, if you look at the track record, every time, Kartikeya, it has been 2 months in total. 1 month to
Okay, you made the point.
done before.
Every time you start speaking, you will not like.
Okay, yes.
See, if you look at the track record, Kartikeya, if of the Election Commission, every time it has happened, I mean, this is a completely wrong narrative that is going on. It takes a very long time. Every time, wait, Mitadi, wait. I'm giving you the answer.
Election Commission.
Wait. Are you done? Can I have a word?
Okay. You, Meeta, you made your point.
I'm just saying that every time the SIR has happened, there has been mapping has been done before. It is not part of the public process. Once the mapping is done, it takes 1 month to distribute your. It has been taken, but not only this time, every time. 1 month to distribute the forms, and within that you have to get the forms back, and then 1 month to tabulate that. This time also it is happening. The same thing is happening, and then by the end of the second month, you get a list, and then you appeal. If you think your name is not matching or if your name is missing, you appeal. But if you're not a citizen of India, then you don't feature. You do not feature in the Election Commission record.
Okay.
One last thing.
That they too also have been to answer that why so many illegal immigrants came into West Bengal.
Wait, I didn't say a word when you said. I'm saying I completely understand your pain that you are having to defend a leader who only talks on a press conference.
Please do not.
Even if it is the Prime Minister of India, if he has to say something to a constitutional body, he also has to say through either a written letter or an affidavit. You don't go and take a class in front of a whole lot of media.
All our complaints to the Election Commission in Karnataka. We have submitted in Maharashtra.
These are two poll. Okay. Bhanu, even if I say that the Congress has its own grievance and the BJP has its position, so my question is slightly different. Why do you think that the Congress is still stuck on this issue, despite the fact it's not clicking in the states? Is it something like a Rafale movement?
Yeah, so the thing is, there can only be two arguments for that. There is some benefit that the Congress is getting or the Trinamool is getting electorally out of this. Second is the signaling.
You're saying that they are benefiting from it. They are benefiting from it.
They may. It's quite possible, but we do not have any proof, so they may. But the second most important thing that we can say with a fair bit of assurance is that, like with the protest of the CAA is like for giving citizenship to Hindus outside India, right? It had a different signaling value. Like that, when you oppose SIR, it sort of is a signal to the minorities of West Bengal who are even legitimate citizens that this government is against you or this system is against you. That sort of a narrative is what is happening. But again, like the Congress refuses to go beyond the rhetoric and submit affidavits and take the legal route. It just keeps creating hawabazi, which is not good for the country. Like, if the systems and the processes are attacked constantly, and that too by the leader of opposition, then it creates a bad day. So see, the whole weeding out of illegal immigrants is a long process, right? Like, there is going to be a national population of register that is going to happen along with the census, and then you will have a national registry of citizens. The census is sort of a group data, but like NTR and NRC will have details of individuals. Till you have that, and then you do it systematically, only then at a policy level, at a macro level, you can do something about illegal immigrants. till then, you can only make things like SIR where it will prevent them from voting, because if you allow illegal immigrants to vote, it demeans the vote of a legal citizen, right? It actually erodes the value of the vote. So I think both political parties should make sure that the legitimate citizen gets an opportunity to express his or her political opinion, and they should be very clear. If they have proper grievances, let them go through proper channels and not just create awabazi using media.
Okay, Shubhankar, whether Mamata opposes it, whether she supports it, this SIR activity is going to go. So do you agree with Bhanu when he says that, this consolidates Mamata's constituency even more?
It consolidates or not, that is not the point. Let me come to some point which Shatarupa was actually very dramatically presenting over here. Let me come to those points. Number one, see, it's not only that Meeta was speaking for a leader who only speaks in a press conference. You speak for a leader who doesn't have a press conference actually. He only has the Man Ki Baat. That's the one-way communication. Number two, when you talk about SIR, you don't have the courage to conduct census, which is far due since 2021. Now we have planned it for 2026 and 27. It's far too late. And I don't know what Mr. Mrityunjay Narayan, what is he doing? Is he just being made a rubber stamp over here? Because there has to be a policy making, It should have included Mr. Mrityunjay Kumar because he's leading the census process in India. You don't have those, executives who are actually professional enough to handle such I think, the diligent topics in such congested areas like West Bengal. Now, when you talk about SIR, will SIR actually, where exactly Mamata Banerjee is feeling the problem in SIR? The problem is when at the backdrop of SIR, what you are trying to do is you are trying to, create a difference in the vote bank. The vote chori thing that Rahul Gandhi brought forward, that did raise the question. It is it is up to the election commission to come clear on that, because it is their duty to deliver a free and fair election in India. And the last point that I want to make is that it's always kahavat hai na chor ki dadi mein tinka. When you speak, why is it so that the BJP spokesperson defend the election commission so well, the election commission come on the defense of BJP so well? So, here everyone, I think every intelligent citizen of India will actually think what exactly is happening behind.
Okay.
Because here,
but
thing is gone out since last decade.
if you're saying Shubhankar, that the citizens have a view and they're intelligent, there are a lot of citizens who have written an open letter against Rahul Gandhi also. Dr. Shatrupa.
273 people, eminent citizens have written to Rahul Gandhi. Now, I'm getting very confused, Kartikeya. I completely sympathize with Meeta Di because she has to defend her leader. No matter what kind of a leader he is. But Shubhankar, he seems to be a bit pro-Trinamool, but then in that case, he should have asked his leader or at least the official spokespersons, is he supposed to defend Rahul Gandhi today? Because it didn't happen yesterday. Now suddenly he's defending Rahul Gandhi. So it's very difficult for me to keep track. Now, as far as I'm concerned, I do not ever defend anybody else except my party, leave alone Election Commission of India. They are very capable people. They will defend themselves on any issue that you throw at them. So I've never ever done that, Kartikeya, on your show. I'm just logically telling you that this is what has happened before and now. Whether it was the Congress who was running ECI, according to them, whether it is BJP who is now running the ECI, according to them. The Election Commission of India has all-party meetings. You go to all-party meetings, you attend them, you give them your opinion. Even Trinamool went, Congress went, everybody goes, and then the Election Commission goes and does their own bit. And SIR, I will say, I have been working at the booth level. Kartikeya, I myself am working at the booth level with the BLOs also in my booth, and I found a very amiable BLO, extremely efficient BLO. Yes, 1,500 people in one booth, and nobody is saying that you have to go in 15 days. And 1,500 people do not live in 15 different houses because I've moved with the BLO. I know what he's doing. It's a very comfortable time span, and my sympathies with the families of those 28 people who have died, but I don't think they died because of SIR. I mean, it's just not possible.
Okay. Okay, I've really run short of time, but I think the moot point here is that the elephant in the room is that the border districts have seen a change in demography in West Bengal. It has happened in Assam. It has happened in West Bengal. Certain issues are so much visible in Manipur, Tripura. I think we need to take cognizance of that the ethnicities which are native to these places cannot be reduced to minorities. And I think that's the fundamental aspect which needs to be kept in mind in any conversation which is regarding the border states. And I think that's the bottom line. If SI does that job, then so be it.
But
Thank you all.
also these infiltration spots where they are waiting now and they are saying the Dalals help them. Also, I think BSF should take cognizance of that. The Home Ministry
I think the government should take cognizance of that.
Absolutely.
The fact, but the bottom line is there's a conversation around the illegal immigration. I think that is most important. That is the most important aspect. Thank you all of you for joining me on my show. This was on point 1. On point 2, we will talk about the rise in consumption of ultra processed foods in India and what they can lead to. Kidney failure, heart failure, diabetes, hypertension. But after a short break.
He's brilliant, लेकिन अक्सर बहुत टायर्ड हो जाता है. मैं क्या करूं?
2 स्पून काफी है ये प्रॉब्लम दूर करने के लिए. लायन डेट सिरप, इसमें आयरन, फाइबर्स, विटामिन्स और किसी भी बीमारी से लड़ने की ताकत बहुत ज्यादा है. रोजाना 2 स्पून लायन डेट सिरप हल्के गर्म दूध में भी मिलाकर पी सकते हैं. लायन डेट सिरप रोजाना 2 स्पून.
Breaking news: major disruption is expected this week.
Yes, disruption confirmed. That's me. Relax, no scams, just my brand new show, News Cosmic with Cyrus.
पढ़ता है, खेलता है, झूलता उछलता है, दौड़ता कभी कभी दौड़ कराता है, आगे आगे बढ़ता है इंडिया, अमूल दूध पीता है इंडिया. गजब का है दिन, सोचो जरा.
A massive explosion took place.
We are outside LNJP hospital right now.
The exact reason behind this explosion.
Is there anything with regards to Faridabad?
Phone calls are getting traced as well.
The location in Faridabad.
Whether this was a blast as a result
in which the explosion has taken place.
Of a homemade bomb.
The strength of the explosion.
They in fact busted it.
Car has been registered Nadeem in Haryana.
The car still belongs to the initial owner.
There are nearly 15 people who are injured.
Damage, the severity of the explosion.
News None has accessed crucial details.
We don't know what the connection to Mohammed Umar is.
The suspect, Umar, is visible in the CCTV.
What were they planning to attack?
We continue to bring you all those details here from Red Fort.
It is a ticking time bomb. India is witnessing the fastest ultra-processed food sales growth in the world according to newspaper published in The Lancet. The result is surging obesity and diabetes leading to very bad health. The paper by 43 global authors showed that the retail sales of UPF in India, which is ultra-processed food, surged from 0.9 billion in 2006 to 38 billion in 2019, a 40-fold rise. Ultra-processed foods are food products mostly high in fat, sugar or salt. They usually contain over more than ingredients you wouldn't find at your home in your kitchen cupboard. UPFs are full of unwanted and harmful ingredients and cosmetic additives like stabilizers, emulsifiers, colorants, flavorings, substances, etc. All of them are there. So what are the examples of the UPF that we consume in our everyday life without understanding their effect on our body? Retail shop shelves are now dominated by pre-packaged food and beverage products. They include sausages, crisps, pastries, biscuits, coffee, soups, fizzy drink, ice creams, supermarket bread. The Lancet study says UPFs are strongly linked to an increased risk of obesity, type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular diseases, depression, premature death, amongst others. Thanks to the hyperactive consumption of ultra-processed foods, obesity has doubled in India in both men from 12% to 23%, and women from 15% to 24%. 1 in 4 person in India is obese and 10% of Indians are diabetics. On this issue, I am joined by Dr. Sunila Garg, Professor Emeritus, National Medical Sciences Academy, Government of India, Member Lancet Commission, Advisor ICMR, and Dr. Swati Maheshwari, Director Fortis Hospital, Manesar. Thank you both of you. Let me straight away go to Dr. Sunila Garg. Madam, can this turn into a national epidemic if people don't realize as to what they are consuming when they buy something off the shelf, which is easy eating, very tasty and quick?
Thank you, Kartikeya. Actually, I have been involved in this area since almost 3 years, let me tell you that. And I'm very happy that this topic has been raised by your channel, because you see, when we talk of out of 204 countries, India has got 12.5 million obese children, and which will be 27 million by 2030, and 50% childhood obesity will be there in Southeast Asia, which will be 10% of the global obesity. And then, when we talk of that, so and we do have, India is a diabetic capital of the world. We do have 828 million people, in the world with diabetes, out of which 212 are in, people are obese. And then 135 million, when we talk of, 359 million rather people have got abdominal obesity, and we had recently a study which was conducted in Delhi University, where we found that 25%, 1/4 of our young adults were obese. They had high waist circumference and all that. So what we realized over a period of time was that what are the important causes? One is, the sedentary lifestyle, which is responsible for this, and which particularly aggravated during COVID times, and which is leading to all these, as I said, more abdominal girth, central obesity and all that. But most important reason, which you rightly mentioned, the important culprits are our ultra processed foods, which are available over the counter, and they contain the ingredients like sugar, salt, sodium, and different stabilizers, emulsifiers and all that. And so they are the ones who are providing you immediate calories, but ultimately they are the ones which are very, very dangerous for the body, and they lead to all these which I mentioned, whether we call it as obesity, whether we call it as ultimately obesity is the root cause of all these, when we talk of diabetes, hypertension, cardiovascular diseases. And once a person is obese, so his physical capacity goes down, it has effect on his mental processes, he goes into depression and all that. Sometimes, people also are not able to perform well in their studies or in their occupation and all that. So it's a kind of a vicious cycle. So I say that ultra processed foods, basically are highly, highly dangerous foods, and they must be condemned and rather removed. And this has already been taken a dialogue with FSSAI also. So I feel that, there is already nutrition policies there, and we need to take a, look at this direction very, very seriously. Are we really, able to justify that on our counters ultra processed foods are available?
Okay.
Thank you.
Dr. Swati Maheshwari, do you think that we need to have some sort of a warning on these ultra processed foods? For example, when we had the warnings on cigarette and then the photo came, then the people realized this is the consequence. This is what happens to you. This is cancer. Alcohol, people thought 2 pack theek hai, but now studies tell you, boss, you will be in big trouble if even if you have a moderate consumption. Do you think that some warning is required in these chicken nuggets, chips and all that, and people pander to the whims of the children?
Absolutely, there are a lot of regulatory gaps for that matter, be it front of pack labeling, be it the marketing that is being done to the children, the kind of food that is served in the schools for that matter, the colleges who are vending all this ultra processed food in their campuses and all and everything, then again, a lot of government regulatory bodies have to be stepping over here because, see, there are a lot of policies which are deficient as of now. As such, all these products, they have a lot of celebrity endorsements. There's a lot of pervasive marketing that happens, and this kind of becomes very tempting for a child or any other adult for that matter because they feel that this is very easily available. As it is too palatable, very tasty, and when you start eating a lot of ultra processed food, it kind of tempts you for more and more, and that is what happens. It kind of takes you into a vicious cycle. So what actually these studies are showing is, they are highlighting the point that the Indian nutrition is absolutely in a crisis mode right now, and also the public health system for that matter. And it is very concerning right now that all these things are so easily available that 1 in 4 is obese in India, 1 in 3 have abdominal obesity, 1 in 10 are suffering from diabetes. Now, this is something which should be really a wake-up call for us because we are sitting on a verge of a tsunami of metabolic disorders, which is, about to hit us in a big way. And also, when you look at these market trends that are there, the market surveys that are done in last 1 decade, like you rightly mentioned, there is an increase of 4,000%. Now, this is something which is very, very huge, and it shows that how our gut microbiome is getting affected, the metabolic and the signal pathways are getting affected by all these different kind of stuffs and chemicals actually that we are consuming. And more than that, the progenies, the kind of productivity and everything is going to get affected from here. So this is something which is very, very concerning. A lot of I think right now brainstorming is required, and especially the government has to be very strict on what kind of stuff is being put on our shelves, because people have to understand the food which says that the half-life is too long or it was going to stay better, or it has a half-life of say 1 year or 2 years, it is going to sit on the shelf. It means that this food is more dangerous for you, rather than going and picking these kind of stuffs which say, okay, 6 months this is very good, or 8 months it's going to last. Don't pick up such stuffs from the shelf because they are more dangerous, because they have more of these stabilizers in them, they have more of additives in them, and these are purely chemicals that are going into your system. They are affecting your health. And now the diseases which we used to see in elderlies and in middle-aged people, we are very easily seeing those in children now, in adolescents now, and that is very, very concerning. That our Indian landscape, the entire nutrition food ecosystem of India, it is not just about individual choices anymore.
There are two quick questions, for both of you, because I need to close the show, and I'll start with Dr. Garg. One, this issue of constant eating, there's no conversation around that. Constant eating is not normal. 100, 200, 300 years ago, our ancestors were not eating through the day. The kitchen would close, or the food would not have been available. And the second thing is, not understanding what you eat is not food. It is creating addiction. Dr. Garg, and the same question to Dr. Swati Maheshwari.
Thank you so much. First of all, there is a huge change, Kartikeya, in our lifestyle. Earlier, there used to be a schedule, getting up in morning, getting dressed up, going out, doing your work, or, go to school, come back, you have a play time, you have a work time and all that. But now it's only, what we call it as a couch potato syndrome. Children just sit in front of, or even adults also. You see, we are also setting an example. It's not that it's only children, unless the parents permit, or there are families, which are permitting. So this is where what we call it as a couch potato syndrome. They'll sit with a packet of chips, they will sit with, something biscuits and all that, and ultra processed food with different kind of drinks and all that, and without doing any activity. So that is something, it's a vicious circle, as I said. And today I can say that basically when my husband sees in his clinic, he's a pediatrician, he says that 1 in 3 child is already an obese child. The moment they start gaining, parents do worry for them, but then it strikes them very late. So that is one thing which is very, very important. And as you said that we do need to, and Swati also mentioned about front of package labeling, this is the need of the hour, which should be available in local language and also acceptable to all and accessible to all.
Absolutely. When I'm a 75 born, I studied in Delhi, 1 or 2 people in a class would be fat, and people would tell us that they have some medical issues. But I did not come across fat children in early 80s, and I saw that change in 15 years, and I saw that the girth has increased, and I recall, and one thing which stayed with me was, the meals which I had were limited and I would not get it throughout the day. Dr. Swati, is that making a difference? That everything is available to you throughout the day. You can buy it, you can eat it, and you can just continue eating.
Absolutely, and very rightly you mentioned it's become a food addiction now because everything is available at snap of fingers and you can easily procure anything anytime. You know, even if you're hungry at 2 or 3 in the night, you can just go on your app and get your food delivered in just 5-10 minutes. So, you know, you don't have to wait until morning for your kitchen to open as well.
Yes.
Now, the whole shift now is, I think, not just about less food and more exercise. I think it is more important to tell children now that say no to ultra processed food. You know, that is something which is very, very essential now, that we have to start, you know, giving these messages out in schools, in colleges. I think the way we send these medical health messages in the community, that is something that we really need to work on right now, because you know, it's still better to go and have some chapati or, you know, have some rice or have some other traditional food item rather than going for these chips packets, instant noodles, instant soups, you know, all these bakery products, biscuits and all and everything. They are so much more harmful. You know, we are more worried, oh, we'll eat a roti, you know, our calories will go skyrocketing, or we'll have rice, you know, our calories will be haywire completely. No. It's actually these ultra processed foods which have refined carbohydrates, which have these carbohydrates, which is actually causing all that obesity, which you think it is not causing. But actually it is the reason behind the obesity and the other metabolic disorders. And that is what is very, very essential now.
Absolutely.
You know, for everyone to understand that this is the male culprit and the villain that is sitting right into your kitchens, into your house, into your apps. And into your mind.
Absolutely. Thank you both of you for joining me. You know, this I personally feel that there should be a national mission. Prime Minister has been speaking about obesity consistently, and he has been making a point that at least start by reducing oil in your food. So this is all I had on point today. I will see you tomorrow at the same time. Thank you and good night.
अपनी सुपर पावर यूज करने का टाइम आ गया।
आप टेंशन मत लीजिए, IIFL फाइनेंस से झटपट गोल्ड लोन लीजिए और बिजनेस आगे बढ़ाइए।
लाइफ जब भी आगे बढ़ने का मौका दे, अपनी सुपर पावर, अपना गोल्ड यूज करिए और IIFL फाइनेंस से गोल्ड लोन लीजिए।
IIFL फाइनेंस करता है सीधी बात।
कुछ भी खा नहीं पा रहा हूँ, बहुत अपसेट हूँ।
Take a date, not bites.
नो एडेड शुगर, प्रिजर्वेटिव के बिना डेट्स, बादाम, पिस्ता, काजू और शहद से तैयार किया गया लायन डेट्स नट बाइट्स।
Lion date, not bites.
Light, camera, and action. Kick back, relax, grab your favorite snack because News 9 is here with your weekend dose of entertainment. It's time to take a deeper dive into the buzzworthy happenings of the entertainment world. From celebrity gossips to exclusive conversations, from nostalgic moments to News 9's pick of the week. Don't worry, we've got you covered here. And I hope you've grabbed your popcorn by now because News 9's page 3 is here to serve you everything that we call entertainment. So do stay tuned every Saturday and Sunday, 2:30 p.m.
What is to the nines? In literal terms, it's perfection. But to us, it's not just a phrase, it's an attitude. One that starts at your desk and sends a statement to the world.